Alright everyone, today's video will be a continuation ng discussion natin previously on AllDay's IPO. I promised that I would make a new video once na nag-release na yung final price niya for the offering. And today, it finally did. I was actually expecting it sometime last night, no? Kasi ang sabi dapat October 12, pero it released at least sa PSE Edge today at 8:38 a.m. Alright? So let's talk more about AllDay's upcoming IPO now that we have more and more complete na information. Alright? So key points, the IPO price is 60 cents per share. Okay, so nung una sabi nila up to 80 cents, so nababa. Okay, buti, nakinig sila. It's now down to 60 cents per share compared sa it could have possibly been at 80 cents per share. The target that they're chasing, it's 6.03 billion pesos, no? So, again, yung use case or kung saan nila balak gamitin yung 6 billion na kikitain nila or ma-earn nila from the IPO is number 1 for debt payment. Okay? Number 2, capital expenditure. And number 3, expansion. Okay, we'll talk more about yung debt payment later in case hindi nyo napanood yung video. But expansion is always good, no? And syempre, capex, kailangan mo ng pera para makapag-operate ka na mas maayos. Now, before we continue, I just wanted to do a quick comparison nung gusto nilang i-raise na money, na market cap, compared sa mga nauna sa kanila, no? Na medyo recent. Well, not recent na bagong-bago, but medyo fresh pa sa memory ko, personally. In comparison to KPPI tried to raise, or rather, successfully raise 385 million. Okay? Now, if you remember KPPI, lumipad to kaagad. Parang first 2 or 3 days, ceiling tayo, no? was the same, first 2 or 3 days, ceiling. Was raising 1.6 billion pesos. No, ang mas malapit na comparison, market cap-wise, not necessarily business style-wise, is Wilcon. Wilcon, back in the day, nung nag-start out siya at around 5 pesos per share, 5.0 something, they raised 7 billion pesos. Now, to see the further end of the spectrum naman, yung Monde, na recent lang na nag-IPO, they raised 49 billion pesos. Okay, so I think market cap-wise, it's safer to compare itong ALLDY or AllDay sa Wilcon in terms of size, no? Next, the offer period. So, when you can actually subscribe or try to apply or try to reserve some shares will be on October 18 to 25. Okay, kung merong updates to, I'll let you guys know. But for now, ito yung offer period. Wala naman nagbago sa balita. And then the listing date for ALLDY remains at November 3, 2021. Now, I said we will talk more about debt payment kasi para sa akin, medyo hindi talaga kadalasang maganda kung nag-raise ng funds sa isang company para lang magbayad ng utang. And in this case, yung 6 billion na balak nilang i-raise, 4.1 billion of it goes to paying off debts. So parang 60% or 66% nung rinaise mo, ang goal mo lang is ipambayad ng utang. Now yes, the company has come out and said na based on their studies, their research, their calculations, mas kikita kasi yung company if they do it this way kasi hindi na silang magbabayad ng high interest rates. But that stands true for all companies and everyone na may utang, di ba? I mean, sino ba naman ang gusto magbayad ng mataas sa interest rate? So that's just something to watch out for just in case. And then, again, as of this video, based from what I'm seeing sa mga social media, sa mga posts, sa mga forums, public interest remains high. Lalo na ngayon na bumaba yung presyo ng final price, no? So from what was roughly 40 times na PE ratio compared to its peers, naging around 30 times na lang. It's still high. In comparison, no, yung Wilcon, kasi siya yung sabi ko na medyo mas malapit sa kanya ng market cap, when it first came out, it was 16 times PE. Okay? 16 as in 1.6. Ito, it's 30, more or less, times na PE. Okay, so that's just something to watch out for, something to keep in mind. But it's good that the public interest remains high. Kasi syempre, yun naman ang hinahabol natin sa IPO, yung maging in demand siya. Okay? other important information, yung SSSG, the same store sales growth is positive 2% in the first half of 2021. In contrast of its peers. So yung mga peers niya, mga kasabayan niya, all posted negative growth. So that's good. That's a very positive sign, no? And then yung plans niya for growth so far remains the same. Wala naman silang binawi. They intend to build 45 branches by 2022 and 100 branches by 2026. Okay? And then finally, yung underwriter nila, I cannot stress this enough, is BDO Capital and China Bank Capital, no? So do your own research to see kung ano yung mga underwriters na mas nagpa-perform better or baka may tendency na mas mag-underperform. Maybe compare it do sa mga naaalala nyo na IPOs recently. Tignan nyo sino yung mga underwriters sila or yung mga IPOs from before, from the past, kung sino yung mga underwriters sila, sino nag-perform ng okay, sino mas nag-underperform, and so on. It's just something that's good to know before we put our hard-earned money into that investment, no? Into AllDay's IPO. Okay? Sabi nga ni Warren Buffett, okay, an IPO is like a negotiated transaction. The seller, in this case AllDay, chooses when to come public. And it's unlikely to be a time that's favorable to you and to us, diba, as retailers. Okay, so I know it sounds like ang dami kong warning, ang dami kong paalala, but that's just simply because ang pera, pinaghirapan natin yan eh. I mean, hindi ko alam sa inyo, no? Pero dito sa amin, hindi naman umuulan ng pera. Okay. Sana nga, oo no? Sana pwede ka lang mag-iwan ng batya sa labas, pag-gising mo, punong-puno na siya ng salapi. Kaso hindi eh. Diba? So we need to do our own research. We need to understand the risk. We need to understand kung ano yung ginagawa natin bago tayo tuluyang pumasok. And I'm hoping that this video helps you somewhat with that by presenting with you all the facts that we currently have. Okay? Now, I know na pinanood nyo to kasi gusto nyo rin marinig kung ano yung opinion ko. Kung ako ba, ititrade ko yung AllDay, magbibili ba ako IPO or hindi. Okay? Now, before I say what my opinion is or what I intend to do, I want to preface that by saying na this is not and should not be construed as financial or investment advice. Okay? I am simply stating what I would personally do for purely educational purposes. Okay? Parang kwentuhan din lang. Personally, I don't subscribe to IPOs. Not just with AllDay, but generally speaking, I don't subscribe to IPOs. The only exception was Merrimark, no? That was the only time na nag-subscribe ako sa IPO. But kahit na yung mga Monde, Converge, nagtaasan yan, I'll be honest and say na hindi ako nakapag-subscribe sa mga IPO nila. Why? By and large kasi, if you look at IPOs in general, so if you study the charts, if you look at historical data, most of them, okay, I'm not saying that this will be the case in AllDay, ha? I'm just saying that most of them tend to pull back muna before they go higher, if they go higher. So look at yung mga Shell PH na nag-IPO. Look at Wilcon. Wilcon right now is at 30 plus pesos or something. But or at the very least, umabot siya ng 30 plus, no? It started out at 5. Pero even then, bumaba rin siya konti. The same with Monde. Monde, bumaba rin konti. Converge, bumaba rin ng konti. So, lahat sila nagbibigay naman ng alternate entry. So, as a general rule, hindi ako nag-subscribe to IPOs because historical data suggests na either mabibigyan naman ako ng chance makapasok at a lower price or kung hindi man at a lower price, if lumipad man, may chance na akong pumasok at a future date, albeit at a slightly higher price. But that's okay. I'm a trader, not an investor. So, mostly ang habol ko is short to mid-term. So, kung ganun yung usage case ko, then hindi ko kailangan na from the get-go, at the very start, nandun na kagad ako. So, AllDay won't be different. I will be sticking to my guns. I won't be subscribing to this IPO, but I am not discouraging you from doing so. The last thing that I want to hear is sabihin nyo, Kasi sabi ni GT, hindi niya mag-IPO. So kami rin, ayaw na namin. Tapos tumaas. Tapos sasabihin nyo, ang tanga-tanga ni GT, hindi siya di ba? That's just my personal belief. Di ba? I am betting that historical data works on my side more than works against me. Pero pagka kunyari, sa mga case ng KPPI or MM na bigla na lang lumipad, kamot ulo na lang ako. Di ba? That's the risk that I take. That's the downside to what I do. So you need to weigh what you do based on your personal risk profile and kung ano yung gusto nyong gawin talaga. Gusto nyo ba long-term investment? Naniniwala ba kayo sa ALLDY? Have you looked at yung mga books nila? Have you looked at yung mga na-publish na nilang articles or files online sa PSE Edge to see if it's something that you truly want to invest in? Then yun, ibang usapan yun. But as promised, I'm just stating my opinion, what I'm going to do, not what you should do. Alright? So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin. I apologize kung may konting background noise. I mentioned this before na may ginagawa dito sa may amin and hindi ko talaga maiwasan. I try to work around it pero parang tumatiming talaga eh. No? So, I apologize. I just try to talk above the background noise. No? And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading.